Hello, I'm going to have a quick flick through of the most historic magazine in the Spectrum industry. This is the copy of Crash issue number 1, February 1984. Value of it was 75p back in the day, but I'm sure in today's money that's worth about £5. I can't believe this magazine is now 36, 37 years old. We're very lucky now to have the Crash magazine relaunched. I've just put this one next to the old magazine, just in comparison of size, and you can see Oliver Frey's chairman image on both copies. But you've seen this before. We'll move all that out the way, and we'll focus on this issue 1. Now, as I flick through, if you want to see any of the articles in more detail, you will find there are freely available the PDF version of this magazine. But if you like anything like me, you just like to feel the real thing. We'll have a flick through. I'll try and keep as quiet as possible. Just enjoy the moment, and we'll have a quick look. There's certainly not as many colour pages in this first edition as there were in future copies. I don't know whether it's because the magazine is 37 years old, but the pages seem to have darkened or yellowed. But I think it's the quality. I think I could be wrong, but the paper feels so different from other copies of the magazine, later magazines they produced. It's not quite newspaper style print, but the paper is definitely more cheaper quality. Oh, Valhalla, that was one of my favourites. It's quite funny actually. When you order games, you have to fill out coupons and cut coupons out of magazines. Um, that's internet shopping of yesterday. Everything was mail order. There was no internet shopping, were there? They certainly looked at a lot of games. And there you have it. This is an extremely rare magazine. I'm sure if you take a look on eBay, search for Crash magazines, you get plenty come available for the other later editions of this magazine. It's so hard to find an issue 1, which is why they tend to, when they become available, they tend to go for anything between £30 to £120, depending on its condition. It's always worth to try and find one that hasn't had the coupons cut out or the competitions cut out, just to keep the whole magazine intact. I don't think you'll ever find a perfect edition out there, but the main things to look out for is to make sure that the spine is intact, the staples are intact, no pages are falling out, there's no rips or tears. I mean, there's a few marks on this version, but I suppose the condition this one's in particular, I would imagine this could sell for anything between £60 to £80 for this copy. I think the reason why this is so rare is because the first edition, because it was a trial, I guess the team didn't want to produce many magazines. They kept it really low. Later editions, they sold a lot more copies, but it's so hard to find now an issue 1. It's quite interesting. They made a bit of a feature really of the first edition in the Crash Annuals, and the last Crash Annual, at the end of the book, it showed Roger Keane's scribbles of his budget for producing this magazine, which is quite interesting. There's not really a lot of detail as to whether he did this before or just after the sale, but these are clearly his workings out. Anyway, that's it for me. You had a look through. If you want to have a look at this magazine in more detail, as I said, there are PDF versions of this to download. And thanks for watching.